I was streaming yesterday, and I'm so lazy I didn't really close anything down on my stream.
Okay.
So it said camera was in use, and I'm like, what do you mean the camera's in use? And then I was like, oh, because XSplit is open. I get it. Because it still had the camera on from XSplit. How do I look?
That makes sense. That's perfect. Maybe a little bit
How do
higher
I
so we can
look?
see that.
A little bit higher? How's that?
That's perfect. That's
How's that?
perfect. Yeah, I like that hoodie. What is that?
Thank you. It's a band.
Is it?
A
Is it?
band from Spain.
Yo, can we see more Joe faces in chat? I see the Joe subs. I need pack. I need backpacks.
Oh
I need pink
no.
backpacks, and I need Joe faces.
Oh no.
A band from Spain, you said?
Yeah, a band from Spain. Yeah.
Always metal. Never any other
No,
genres. You
I,
don't
I
ever.
listen. I listen to like all kinds of stuff. But as far
Okay.
as what I listen to on stream, actually on stream, I listen to mad stuff too. I listen to
Yeah.
honestly anything that kind of makes me feel a certain way. I listen to. I don't really care what it is. Like I listen to like '90s freestyle on my stream all the time, dude. It's like I don't, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
whatever I feel like feeling at that particular time. I put on music that correlates to that feeling, I guess. It
Sure.
could
Sure.
be metal, it could be rap, it could be drum and bass. I don't really like country, honestly.
Yeah.
Country doesn't make me feel anything besides bored.
Sadness. Yeah. Um. So it's got to motivate you. Then is that kind of the feeling you're looking for,
um,
or?
no, it's not really like motivation. Like music, actually, my last name in Italian means instrument, and for
Oh.
some weird reason, my whole family has always been very musically orientated. Like my dad and my brother, they play in a band. All my brother does, his job is a band. He plays in a band. He travels around. They did Robert Downey Jr.'s wedding. He got married. They did his. This is when he was Iron Man too. Like they have pictures of him
Fuck.
and like yeah, like they don't just play like bars and shit like that. Oh, sorry, I curse. Can I curse? Can I say
Yeah.
shit?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Please
Oh,
do.
fuck, shit, fuck. All right, so yeah, that's what they do. So ever since I was growing up, like music's always been like a big part of me. And growing up, I grew up in, well, I was born in '85, but my brother was like into heavy metal when I was growing up, and my
Mhm.
brother's older than me, so I was always around like the '80s like thrash metal stuff, like Slayer and like Megadeth and Exodus and all these other like '80s start like thrashy bands. So ever since I was growing up, it's like I was always around that like harder music. Like they would be in the basement fucking playing, and I would go to bars and watch my brother play with like my dad. My dad has a picture of me sleeping in his guitar case, like in backstage somewhere. Like I'm
That's
like
crazy.
in the guitar case when I was like 3 or 4. So again, music is just like I don't know. To me, it's about like the feeling that music gives me. I don't really look for something. Like if I'm, it's not, well, per motivation, I guess. But I don't really hate on genres of music. You know, like whenever one person, whatever clicks to one person, that's what clicks for them, man. You know, like
Right.
crazy shit clicks for me. You know, whatever clicks for you is that's awesome.
Right. So it's more about it moving you than the genre of the song,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't really
yeah.
matter. Like whatever. Honestly, I can bop my head to rap the same way I can bop my head to like drum and bass stuff the same way I can bop my head to like death metal. It doesn't really matter, So
Right. So I want to talk. I want to start here because I think this is a good place to start. I think everyone knows you. Everyone in the stream obviously knows you, but I have some viewers who are 16ers or maybe haven't heard of you before. You this year you placed top 8 at Evo. Is that the biggest moment in your fighting game career? And can you describe it a little bit for me?
uh yeah, it was easily like probably one of the greatest moments of my life. Never mind like fighting games. I've been playing games, dude, since I'm probably like 3 or 4 years old. Like fighting games probably. So yeah, it's like a life event, not just a fighting game event. It was it was quite spectacular, man. I mean, I've hung out with people and I've been friends with guys who won Evo and watched all my other friends get top 8. I've been going to Evo since like 2000. I went to Evo East in 2006, and then my first Evo was 2008. But I've been traveling since probably like 2001, 2002-ish, kind of sort of for like Third Strike and stuff like that. So to go from, playing games in like a 7-Eleven was where I started playing fighting games to, like being on the stage in a Mandalay Bay in front of 15,000 people. It was quite an experience, man. Quite a humbling experience at that. So
But yeah, yeah. So the day before you're playing in pools, right? So I was at Evo, and I made it out of pools, and that was the highlight of my fighting career. I was like, I finally
Yeah.
made it out of Evo pools. Then there's day two, and day two you've got to play some killers before you can make it into top eight, right? Who did you end up
Yeah.
beating
Mhm.
outside of pools to get there?
Um, outside of, or you mean outside top eight, like in pools,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
just
yeah.
in? I had to play. Who was the first? The first real big. I was afraid of the second half of the pools, which was me, Marn, Alucard, and one other person was in the same pool. Um, I don't like fighting Mika. I don't think anybody likes fighting Mika. So I did not want to play Marn. So it was crazy, dude. Like it was honestly like just my time. Like everything fell in place for me. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I didn't want to play Marn. I didn't have to play Marn. Um,
Uh,
Alucard beat Marn, so then I got to play Alucard, and then I wound up beating Alucard. Me and Alucard go. Oh, I had. Oh, who? Vagabond, really good dude from Texas. I think he's from
Nikali.
Texas or California. Yes,
Yep.
yes. I had to play him first. I beat him, and then I had to play the winner of Marn or Alucard. So again, didn't want to play Mika. So Alucard beats Marn. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. So then me and Alucard always go back and forth. Great player, great guy. So it really could have went either way, but I was just not confident in fighting Marn. I was way more confident in fighting uh, Alucard. So he beats him, so I'm like, oh, that's so sick. So now I get to play Alucard. So I beat Alucard. And then after I won that, I had to play the winner of Chi and Justin. And
Oh,
I've known Justin since I'm like 15. I'm 31 now. And like Justin is Justin just knows how I play, and he knows. And not that I'm taking any credit. Justin's the best ever. It doesn't matter who he plays,
right.
but I just, I cannot beat Justin. So Chirithi beat Justin, and I'm like, oh my god, sorry Justin, I love you, but this is great. So Chirithi beats Justin, and I'm like, oh, this is so sick. And Chirithi's awesome too. Chirithi has beat me in multiple fighting games from Third
Chun
Strike
Li
to
from
Street
Canada,
Fighter
right?
Five. Yeah, yeah, from
Yeah,
Canada. Yeah,
third
he
strike.
was
Yep.
he was so sick in Third Strike. He's a great, no matter what game you play, the dude is sick. But again, just more confident in one match over the other. So then that happened. I'm like, oh my god, this is so awesome. So then I got him, and then I beat him. And then after that, I was just like, I didn't really care who it was after that. I had to play Squall. I had to play. Oh my God, it's Andre. I had to play one more guy. I had to play Kazunoko,
Oh
and
my
then
God, it's Andre
obviously,
Zamika, right?
yeah, yeah, he used
He,
Mika. Yeah, he used Mika. I was just confident in that match. I don't really know why, but I wound
sure,
up beating
it
him,
wasn't
and then I
Martin.
wound up beating Squall. Yeah, thank God I wasn't Marn. And then I played one more guy. I forgot who it was, and then I had to play Kazunoko for top eight, and then obviously I played Eita in top eight, and then I lost to Yukadon last game, last round.
I
So
know. So I remember watching it. Tell me about the. So you go out to play Eita. This stage is crazy, right? Like I've been to Evos before, but this was
yeah, yeah.
insane. So they've got the three cubes, and then you're sitting on chairs. Was it two monitors or same monitor? I forget.
I think it was the same monitor. We
Okay.
were side to side. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure maybe it was two monitors. No, I think it was the same monitor.
Right.
Side to side, two monitors. Yeah.
And then they
Um.
project Nash on the stage for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Like he was on the floor too. Like he was on the stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sick, dude. It was so walking walking into that, man. Like I thought I was gonna fucking throw up. Like I'm not even kidding. And I don't really get nervous too much. You know what I mean? But again, it was just like for me, it couldn't get any higher. Even though I didn't win Evo, you know what I mean? Like it didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten to a point where I've always wanted to be again, where I watched my friends get, where I was there rooting for my friends to win. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just again, it just finally happened where it was my turn. You know what I mean? So
But
we
it
had to
wasn't.
get there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was
No,
just gonna say. I was gonna say, but it wasn't enough for you to just get there. You didn't just get top eight. You won. You
mm,
won on that fucking stage. In the
yeah,
arena,
yeah,
it was deafening. The buzz was great. That was the hypest moment of Evo.
yeah, dude. I tell people the story all the time, man. When I was on the stage, I mean, obviously before walking out, we had to get there early in the morning. We had to get there at 10 o'clock in the morning before the event. We had to get there at 10, then we had to be back there at 5:30. So like when we got there at 10, I remember walking out and I was like, I opened up the curtain and I was like, oh my fucking god. And I looked at the seats. I was like, this is no, 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 no. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So, funny story. I'm sorry. I still remember your question though. I got it. But
Okay.
funny story, when we were in the back right before we got called out to go play. So this is like, after the first couple matches of top eight. I'm actually getting nervous right now just thinking about it. Like it's making me shake like if I was in the back of the room again. We were in the back of the room, right? And they're saying, "All right, you guys are next. You guys are next. You guys are next." So I was supposed to be like one of the last people to play. So I'm sitting down and I'm like getting out of breath. I'm nervous. I'm just like trying to concentrate. I'm breathing. I'm just like, whatever, man. Like it's Street Fighter. No one's watching me. No one's out there. It's just Street Fighter. I've been doing this my whole life. They called out, I'm not sure if you remember, but they called up Goichi, I think, but it
Yeah.
was Aetha's face.
Yeah. Were you
So,
confused? Were you like,
dude,
who am I
I
playing?
was I was shitting bricks at that point because I was like, all right, I have one match to get ready. Goichi's next, or whoever it was. I think it was Goichi. I'm like, all right, cool. Goichi's next, so I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna I'm gonna splash a lot of water on my face, like whatever I was gonna do. And I lean back in the chair, and then they say Goichi, but I look at the screen and I see Aetha, and I was like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Does that mean I go out now? And then the guy comes in the back and brings Goichi back in the back. He's like, Aetha, come on, Aetha, Joe, get ready. I was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh
Oh
fuck, oh
shit!
fuck, oh fuck. So I grab my backpack and I'm in there and I have my backpack on. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this thing in the chair and he walks out Aetha, and then he was just like, Joe, come on, come on, come on. So I get up and I'm like, oh. Put my backpack on and I just remember like opening up the curtain. I didn't know what I was gonna do, dude. I don't know what I was gonna see. I was just like, well, I have no choice. I had no time to process anything. They just threw me in the fire, and I think it was probably for the better. They
Right.
just threw me in the fire, and then I just I just I just walked out, man. I didn't know what to do or who I was gonna see or how the reaction was gonna be. But I do remember being on stage, and every time I won a round, and I tell the story all the time, like I said, every time I won a round, because the screens weren't here
Mhm.
obviously and there was just the chairs, but we were like leaning obviously up in front of the chairs. Every time I went around, dude, I could feel the vibration of the people like
Uh,
yes, like it was literally tingling, not even kidding. It was like massaging my back almost. I remember that when I won the first round, everyone screamed. I was like, holy shit. Like I felt it all over my back, just everyone screaming and like clapping the things together and whatever, like hitting the check. It was crazy, dude. It was absolutely insane, wild.
No, no, it's so cool to watch. Me and my entire group, we were on our feet. We're banging those. I actually deflated mine. They weren't strong enough. I'm banging them. They broke. That was the moment of Evo. And you know what? So many people were like, "Doesn't matter. He made top eight. He's not gonna win." So when you
Yeah,
won, just like the arena was just like, I don't know, I don't know. You were an underdog, making it. You beat him. It was a Cinderella story. It was so fantastic. I really
yeah,
enjoyed
dude.
watching it.
Again, man, probably like honestly the highlight of my life. Not even the fighting games, dude. One of the greatest times of my life. So.
So after that, you kind of disappeared. Did you play? Did you play in a lot of majors after that, or you were
No,
busy
I went to
working? Or
one tournament. I went to defend the North with like zero practice because it was close. It's like an hour and a half away. As soon as I got back from Evo, this was July, right? Was it June? July?
sure, both, whatever.
I really don't even remember when Evo was. Um, my job actually promoted me. So when I got promoted in my job, it changed my work schedule. So I started having to work every Saturday, and I still work every Saturday. I work Tuesday through Saturday, and I work like in the middle of the day. So I go into work at like 9:30, 10, and I don't get out until like 8, 7:30, 8.
Uh,
So like my friends don't want to play with me anymore because I get home mad late, and they're all like, "Dude, I'm not fucking coming over, man. It's mad late. I got work early tomorrow." And then on Saturday when we used to travel, I used to play like I mean, well, excuse me, I used to work on Friday and then either jump in a plane on Friday and get to wherever I had to go travel to. And I traveled a lot for Street Fighter Five. Like I was at Combo Breaker, I was at Final Round, I went to Florida, I went to every single local tournament here from Brooklyn to the Bronx to Queens. We were
everything.
everywhere. Yeah, we every time we can play, we all went to go play. So now that I got this new job, it required me now I got to take vacation days to leave Saturday, and I'm also a manager and I open on Saturday. I got to be in work at 4:30. So I get up at 3:50, I take a shower. My job's only 10 minutes away from me, which is cool. So I get up at 3:50 in the morning. So it's like now to travel, I got to use a vacation day. And because I'm the manager, I can't just be like, hey, the guys are not coming in. It's like, dude, you're the manager. Like, you're just not gonna, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just required a lot of planning, and also it happened more towards the end of the year. It was like when summer was over, so like August, September, and I didn't have a lot of vacation days left, so I couldn't just be taking vacation days and calling out and stuff like that. So that really affected my ability to travel and play between the job and having to use vacation days in the weekend. Because again, dude, like I said, I would if there's a tournament, I would leave work Friday, get on like a 4 o'clock plane, fly there, and then I would leave Sunday night or early Monday morning and just work and go
Right.
right back to work. But that's why that's the one reason why I didn't really play too much. Well, I guess travel we still kind of played. I didn't take it as serious after the whole Evo thing,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But again, I mean, like I love fighting games too. It's always going to be a passion. Like I don't see myself ever not playing. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's either real life or do I play fighting games? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's it's just not it's not strong enough for me. Not that the passion isn't strong enough, but what what fighting games could give me as far as my life isn't a quarter of what my actual job does. You know what I'm
Right, right.
saying? So
Well, that was going to
so
be
it's
my
like
next question. With all the players getting picked up by Echo Fox and streamers making tons of money, it's still, you don't think fighting games are larger? Gaming in general is, right? MOBAs, shooters, those guys are
yeah,
making
yeah.
huge
And I
amounts of
think
money.
fighting games have came up like it's definitely come up a lot, a lot.
Sure.
And look, some guys can do it. Like Justin, I mean, Justin does have a job, but he don't have to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
between his new sponsor and everything else, it's. I've never gotten an opportunity where someone's going to be like, "We'll pay you this much money." It's where I did not have to work.
Right.
Like, yeah, after Evo, a bunch of people, like
That's what I was
potential
going to ask.
people, yeah, there was a bunch of potential things. I spoke to Solo Mid.
Okay.
I spoke to Team Solo
TSM.
Mid. Yeah, I spoke to Team Solo Mid. I spoke to one other guy, not Cloud9, another like pretty big. To start with a C, is Counter Logic a thing?
CLG, Counter Logic Gaming. Yeah.
Maybe it was them. I don't even remember, dude. But there were a
Offers.
bunch of potentials, but nothing was like, damn, like this is the one. Even like when I was talking to TSM, it wasn't like, all right, this is the contract, here we go. It was just people talking and saying, would you, how do you feel? And I was always very honest. Like I'm sure other players are like, yo, TSM, yeah, guys, whatever you want, I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah, fuck it, fuck it. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'll do it, but like you know what I'm saying? I feel
How
like
old are you?
maybe I'm 31.
That's what it is, right? Like that's me as an
Yeah,
adult too, right? It's like, okay,
yeah,
well, what are we paying? Not could I or should I? Like how much, right? Like I'm an adult, I have
yeah,
a job, so how
yeah,
much?
exactly. Like I'm not gonna quit my job if you're gonna give me $2,000 a month. Like, come on,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, dude, some people that's great, and
Sure.
some people can live that way. But unfortunately, for the last how long have I been at my job? Unfortunately, for the last, I won't even say I've been at my job for like almost 9 years, but I'll even say six. The last 6 years of my life, I've done a lot at my real job. You know what I mean? Like I've been promoted
Accomplished a
numerous
lot
times.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
I've accomplished a lot. I'm the manager of the biggest warehouse in my company. It's me and one other guy that are the delivery managers of the largest operation in the company. So it's like, how do I walk away from this for someone that's going to pay me maybe half of what
Right.
I make at my, not even half, dude. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to be able to just say, you know what? I don't need this. I can just really focus on gaming. And dude, I would love to sit home every day, turn on my stream, get 2,000 views, and just fucking hang out and play games all day. Are you shitting me? Like, I would do it in a second. I would love for someone to fly me out everywhere. Like, no problem. Like, I'll do it in a second. But
Yeah.
it's a little different when you have that real actual life as opposed to the dream life of playing games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the real life kind of strings me back a lot. But how do I walk away from that? You know what I mean?
Well,
It's not easy.
all in all, you're a winner, right? Like most people don't have. I mean, it's hard for people to get one or the other, like right, like
Yeah.
an opportunity at professional gaming or a career in which they make money slash enjoy. I mean, it seems like you enjoy your work, at least what you've accomplished, right? You're proud of. So
Mhm.
I think you've got it made. You've got both, and you have the opportunity to choose. That's huge. So I think you're doing good.
Thank you.
Um, one viewer question, and I entirely agree with this. I have a dialogue. Huge shout out to my man, Dr. Swag. Super nice guy. He helps me come up with a ton of questions. We were talking about you and a couple other players like Pierre Balrog. But win, lose, or draw, it seems like you guys are always positive. It seems like whether you go out and you go 0-2, you're not going 0-2, but you know what I mean? Like whether you get top 8 at Evo or you get blown up, it seems like you always have a positive attitude. What's the philosophy behind that? And how do you keep that? I mean, maybe positive is not the right word, but you're upbeat. You're a super cool dude. How do you stay so positive and humble? You're definitely
Uh,
humble. I met you after top 8 and you're just like, "Hey man, thanks." Like I'm like, "You're a god." Go ahead. How do you stay
uh,
humble and positive?
I don't know, man. It's almost like uh, this is a really good question, by the way. This is a damn good question. So I'm trying to give a really good answer. I feel like there's just a lot of things that have happened to me in my personal life and things like that, where uh, if I could change someone's day or if I can change someone's life, if someone else can grab something positive of talking to me or interacting with me or knowing who I am, dude, I don't want to be the dick that's like, oh, this fucking guy plays fighting games, he's an asshole. Like, F this guy. I feel like I have more of a, I don't want to say responsibility, but it's the guys that have been around forever. It's our job to make sure that we keep the scene good. You know what I mean? So you being a negative asshole does absolutely nothing to the scene. It does nothing to what we've done for our entire lives, some of us. You know what I mean? So, and again, that besides the gaming stuff, it has to do with, I guess, a lot of like me, my personal life, and like issues that I've gone through and stuff like that. And like there's just no reason to be down for the most. I mean, granted, some people do have issues, and that's okay. But I would never want to portray that on anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have a shitty day and my life sucks, I'm still not gonna have the guy who wants my autograph or wants a picture, just wants to talk to me for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna portray that on him. Never a day
Right.
in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not me. And life would have to be fucking, I'd have to be in the street in the snow for me to be like, all right, now I'm pissed. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I'm also like kind of a minimalist where I live on almost absolutely nothing. So anything that I do get, like, I'm very proud of, I'm very grateful for. I'm saying, like, I just like to keep my feet on the floor, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep my feet on the ground no matter where I am. And like a lot of people have, there's this stupid fucking joke where everyone says, "Oh, Joe's famous," blah 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 blah. I'm like, shut up! I'm not famous. Like, it's just, even if I was famous, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we're going to the mall and we're gonna go sit down and eat at a diner, and that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, as I just always want to, again, just have that for other people. I feel like not a lot of, and it's really not a lot of players, but most guys don't get they don't really carry the big head, but I do understand how some people have a different aura around them,
Hmm.
I guess. And again, I don't know where mine came from. Maybe it's, again, I think it's more of my personal life thing
Yeah.
that has molded me this way. But I don't know. Again, it's just it's not just not worth it to be wrong or be negative or anything. Like, for what? You're not doing yourself any good. You're not doing
Right.
anybody else any good, and whatever. So I
Well, I
think
mean,
that's it.
just for some perspective, because you said briefly that there's like most guys don't have big heads. Like trying to do this podcast, I hit people up weeks and months in advance. I get left on red. But there's like every once in a while, like Justin, like immediately, he was just like,
Yeah.
"Hey, yeah, when? Tell me when." Sheehan immediately was like,
Yeah.
"When? I'll give you any of my time." You, same thing. You found out about this yesterday, right? And you're just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Like someone was
What
like,
am I
"Have you?"
doing? I'm doing nothing.
Somebody was like, "Have you hit
Not
up
doing
Li
anything.
Joe?" I'm like, "No, I need months in advance." But I don't know. I super appreciate who you are, how humble, like you said, you keep your feet on the ground. That's just so fucking cool. Um, I want to talk about. So I saw on Twitter, you and Justin were having a costume contest, like in a. So I saw the. You have what was your Star Wars costume? Was it Yoda? I forget already.
Yeah, yeah. I got a Yoda onesie for Christmas.
That's
Yeah.
godlike. That's godlike. And then Justin had like one where he was Chinese food
Yeah,
and
that shit was funny. That shit killed me. I'm like, wow. And I've known Justin forever. I'm like, why have I never seen this before?
I hadn't
What
seen
is
that
this?
either. I've seen Durag Justin, but I've never
Yeah.
seen Chinese food Justin. But back to that, you're a Star Wars fan. I gotta be honest, I don't catch a ton of streams because I'm always fucking streaming. But you're a Star Wars fan. You're into the
hmm
series?
But yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not really. It's hard. Like, I know some lore outside of the movies,
Hmm.
but I never like read books. Like, I know about the like the Thrawn trilogy after Return of the Jedi. I haven't really gone into too much the expanded universe stuff, but I'm really big on the movies. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
Some
but
so tell me about Rogue One because that's what I want to ask. I'm not top tier fan. I haven't read the books.
yeah.
Whatever you just said, I didn't understand, but I did see Rogue One. You saw Rogue One. What were your thoughts? How good is it? How did it compare to the rest of the series for you?
I thought that Rogue One was a great movie, but it wasn't the best Star Wars movie. Star Wars like emanates this sort of feeling and it gives you this like I don't know, it's really hard to explain. Like when I saw The Force Awakens, and people shit on The Force Awakens, and that's cool. Like I get it. I totally understand it. The story is like completely recycled. Like they're not really doing anything new. But watching Star Wars like kind of gives you this sort of feeling. You know what I'm saying? And did I get the feeling in Rogue One? Yes, at points, not throughout the whole movie, but it was like if you took Star Wars out of Rogue One, the movie would still be like, wow, that was a pretty good movie. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that's why I kind of there's a difference to me between both of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like good.
Between the
Sorry.
Force Awakens and Rogue One? No, go ahead.
Well, like all the rest of Star Wars movies and the spin-off that is Rogue One. I feel like Rogue One again is a better movie. You can actually take the Star Wars out of Rogue One and be like, damn, this movie was still like pretty good.
Uh huh.
And the other ones, maybe not so much. Like it has to have that Star Wars thing going on, but Rogue One kind of it did its own thing. It would be totally fine if it was it's like a war movie, man. You know what I mean? Like it's kind
Yeah.
of like a wars movie with some Star Wars stuff tacked on, which makes it better for the Star Wars fans. But again, if you took
Right.
it away, it would still be
It'd
a pretty
still
good
be a good
movie.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to start a fight. I didn't really like it. It was just, I mean, it was
No,
good. It wasn't. I think my expectations were too high. I think my
yeah.
expectations were too high.
I'll be honest, dude. When I was watching the movie, like the first 30 minutes, I was like, all right, I'm a little nervous right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm slightly nervous. This is making me nervous. But again, I saw it a couple of times and like I started paying attention more. Like the characters aren't really very memorable. Like Donnie Yen's character is the shit and
Oh,
like
yeah.
maybe one other character, but
Right.
like a lot of the characters weren't really developed enough. Like I remember I walked out of the theater, I was like, I don't know anybody's name.
I couldn't name
I was like,
Ip
I
Man.
don't know
Ip Man. I
anyone's
saw Ip
name.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I know that's Donnie Yen because he's the shit.
You're right. In
I'm like,
everything.
yeah, and I'm like, all right, her name was Jin, right? What was her dad's name? And Forrest Whitaker was funny, but who
Yeah.
is he again?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like the Imperial dude in the white, like he was fucking gangster, but I don't
Yeah.
remember his name at all.
No.
But it it took me a couple of times to like really be like, okay, like I get it. The second time I saw it, and I saw it twice in the same night. I saw it opening night, and then I came home. I sat in this chair, and I was like, I'm going to see it again. And I got right back up and went to go see it again. The
I'd like to see it
second
again. Go ahead.
the second time I saw it, I actually thought it was a little bit better. But
Okay.
I do think it was a very good movie, and it just wasn't the best Star Wars movie for me. And I know some
Sure.
people are like, "What do you mean it's not Star Wars?" Everyone like there's old characters in it. Everything looks like a New Hope with the Death Star and the Star Destroyers and Vader, blah 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 blah. Like I get it. I think a lot of it has to do with John Williams' music. I think again, I'm very music.
Uh,
I'm a very
yeah.
big music guy, so like when I hear like the Imperial March, dude, or like the Jedi theme, like I get like chills in my spine. And all jokes aside, big fucker moment right now. But like I get chills. You know what I'm saying? Just from hearing the first couple notes, like I'm like, oh my god, this shit is too good. But like that not being in the movie may have affected me a little bit. And don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I think the score is probably the worst part of the movie. But
Uh,
towards the end of the movie, they start like using some of John Williams stuff, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Like I like that. So I'm not sure why. To me, again, I do think it was a good movie, just not the best Star Wars movie. But all in all, I think it was very solid.
so
Very
what
solid.
about best Star Wars movie? You've
Best
got the
Star Wars
answer.
movie, easily Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. I mean, it's
There's no
hard to
question.
argue. It's hard to
No,
argue.
it is. Yeah, yeah. As long as you say either A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi, then we're cool.
As
Once
long
you
as you
start
choose
saying,
original
yeah,
three.
you have those three to put as your number one. Everything actually, I should give you first two. Like if your first two is not the other three, then we gotta fucking have a conversation, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. You know what's funny for me though is like I have a son. I have a 12-year-old son, and like fuck, this is hard for me to say because the movies were so important to me as a kid. But like, I tried to watch it again, and it wasn't as good. It didn't hold up. And my son was like, why are we watching this?" I'm like, "You need to watch this for history." And he's like, "This isn't good." And I'm like, "You're right. It's not as good as I remember." But yeah, yeah. If you're choosing, you got to choose the originals. Cosplay. Oh, Dark Souls. You play a lot of Dark Souls on your stream? Oh no.
I did. Yeah.
What
No,
if I
no, I
say
do.
I've never played Dark Souls? You're
Cut this shit off right now.
in the
Stop the
stream?
stream now and start playing. Cut this shit off immediately.
I thought
Nah,
this was a
Dark
go
Souls,
ahead.
dude, is such a good game, bro. Such a good
Yeah.
game. I don't know what it is. It's really hard to explain. To me, it when Demon Souls came out, it was like something I've never played before. Because Demon Souls is the first Souls game. So when Demon Souls came out, and I was like, when the game first came out, I was like, oh my god, this game sucks. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I don't like it. And I bought the game. I'll go get it. I bought the game when it came out in Japan, like, and not
Oh
the American
shit.
version. I had the Japanese Demon Souls. I was scrolling through YouTube. I have no idea what the fuck I was watching, and all of a sudden, you know how they give you suggested videos or whatever. And
Mhm.
this is like 2008, and I happened to click on the video, and it was Demon Souls, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I have no idea what it is. I'm trying to look for it. And this was like 2000. Its information wasn't as good as it was today. You know what I'm saying? Like now you can be like, oh, this is this game. Um,
Boom.
so I happened to randomly go to my homie's house randomly, and it's a friend I've been with for a while. We used to play Tekken together. He's to come to Chinatown with us. So I walk in his room, and he's playing the game. I'm like, how the fuck do Dude, I was just watching this. He's like, yeah, son, I bought this shit at Chinatown the other day, son. This shit is banging, son. And I'm like, dude, where'd you get this game? He told me where. It was a game store called J&L that's still in the city. So the next day, I got in a train, called him. I bought the game, came home, played it, and I was like, it's okay. I
Didn't
put it down. Yeah, it didn't really phase me after I played it. I'm like, all right, whatever. This game's whatever. Like 3, 4 months later, when I heard that it was coming out in America, I'm like, okay, now I have to play this game. So I played it, and as soon as I started understanding the game,
mm,
I was like, this game is fucking fire. So I fell in love with Demon Souls. Like again, it took me like a month or two to really give it to really give it a go. And then like after that, dude, I've been like, it's the only video game. Fuck Mortal Kombat, fuck Street Fighter,
whoa.
fuck fighting games, fuck
Whoa.
anything. It's the only game I would potentially tattoo on my body, and I still think about it till this day.
uh, yo.
It's the only game.
So I need to know. I need to know about the Dark Souls tattoo. But I thought this question was dope. I've never even played Dark Souls, so now I have an insight of how good it is. But Capcom calls you up, right? Comafine's like, "Yo, Joe, it's been a while. How have you been?"
Oh, this is gonna be a rough question.
Yeah, yeah, we're bringing a character from Dark Souls. What boss should it be? You have the entire series at your disposal, but you get to put one Dark Souls boss into Street Fighter Five. Who are
It
you
would
gonna put in?
easily it would easily be Artorias, and if it was a tag game, it would be Smo and Ornstein.
Okay. What is the? Give me like a move or a V trigger. Give me a. How does it play out in the fighting game?
It's actually perfect because they both have these things where they kind of like beef up. So
Okay.
Artorias would take in the Abyss, and then he would be Abyss Artorias, and then either Smo or Ornstein would. All right, just quick background: when you fight these
Thank you.
bosses,
Thank you.
when you kill one or the other, it like imbues the other one with his power. Like they get like more brawlic and their moves change. So it's actually perfect. So that's exactly what would happen.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay. So they fit. They fit. And then
Yeah,
the
it
tattoo.
fits.
What are you getting? What? Do
Um,
it. Get a
I
fucking
never,
game tattoo.
I just think about it a lot, dude. I never really thought about it. Like, well, I don't want to say I never really thought about it. It like pops in my head. I'm like, damn, that would be fucking sick. But I never really do the legwork. I just think about getting it, but I don't really motivate myself to get it. I would get like a compilation of like all the like maybe 4 or 5 bosses or characters in the game that I really really like, and I would get like a leg sleeve, like from my knee down,
Okay. A
would
few
just be
characters
like
then.
yeah a couple, and not like like not like I don't know, hard to explain. Like I picture it like a very grand feeling and looking, not just like, oh, like here's the character and
You're thinking
here's
like a
another
scene,
character.
right? Like yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like more of like their faces like hovering over a bonfire, or like Smo
yeah.
and Ornstein like back to back, but like this big, not like this little guys. But I don't know. Maybe one day. I'm
That'd be
actually
sick.
leaving. I'm going to Sweden this Sunday to get my right arm tattooed.
What are you getting?
When I come back, I'm getting I'm not really sure. Really weird story. Really really awkward. Not awkward. Really weird story. The artist that I'm going to get, he he doesn't show you what it is because he doesn't want his art being used anywhere. So
Ah,
you just tell him like your theme and why you want it, and he draws it, and then when you get there, he tattoos you.
What do
So,
you?
but I have no idea what it
But you
is.
gave him
No
a
clue.
theme. You're like, I
Yes,
love.
yes, yeah, 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 kind of, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Um, yes.
Um, same question, a little bit easier though. Star Wars. Star Wars
Hmm.
character in Street Fighter Five. Who do you want to add? And then what's the V trigger of the
Star
move look like?
Wars, it would probably definitely be Vader. It would
Okay.
definitely be Vader. I have like such a soft spot for Vader, man. Like
How cool
pretty
was
weird.
that scene at the end of the
It's
movie?
oh my
That was the best
God,
part. That
dude.
was the best part.
Dude, I was because first, all right. There's always the stories like about him being in the tank. Like I've heard about that for years. Like I've seen comic strips of him, like where they say, "Oh yeah, like they obviously changed Vader's suit. What do they do with him? He's got to go in a tank or something because he's gonna die." So like when the trailer came out and they were like, "Oh, that's Vader and that's Vader," and I'm like, I don't know. It could be, but when it was like when you saw him in the suit, I put my head and I was like, "Oh my!" I'm sorry, him in the tank. I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" I was like, "Please don't do this. Please don't do this." Like you can kind of see him all fucked up. You can see he has no limbs. I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, there he is." So, then of course the reveal, which we all knew was coming. Like, and even now, like the reveal is so good. The door opens up and you see like the big shadow of him in front of Krennic, and I'm just like, oh, this is so good. So besides that, the last scene, dude, like
Yep.
when he says prepare the boarding party, that's what he says. He goes prepare the boarding party, and he turns around and walks away. And I was getting high because I thought I want to see Vader like back in the ship.
Mhm.
Like in the TIE fighter, I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna take down these fucking rebel scum. This is gonna be so sick. And I'm getting hyped in the theater. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be flying back in his tie. I can't wait to see this. The tie with the crooked wings like this. I was getting so hyped. And then all of a sudden, it switches scenes, and he's in his cruiser going to the other ship, and I'm like, no, this isn't gonna happen. And then sure enough, dude, and I can't even talk about it right now, bro. It's giving me the chills again.
Are you freaking out? My
It
12-year
was,
old son.
dude,
My son was like, "I'm like, how'd you like the movie?" He was like, "It was all right." I'm like, "Really? You weren't a fan?" Because he's a big Star Wars fan. He's like, "There was no fucking light." He doesn't cuss. There's no lightsabers.
yeah,
It's like, except for the end. Darth Vader is so dope. I'm like, he is, right? It was cool to have him enjoy that because Vader's always been cool for an old guy like me.
yeah.
But
Yeah, no, dude. Like when that whole shit happened, dude. I remember I like fell back in my chair because we had like the reclining chairs. I like picked up my legs and I was just like falling in my chair like this. And like I was completely blown away. Like seriously, like 100. Because like you always want to see that. Like you hear about Darth Vader, how he's the shit. He's badass. He does this, he does it. But you never really see him do anything.
it's
He
true.
yokes people up. He yokes people up and they fall to the floor. And I was like, all right, yeah, he's clearly gangster. The only one that could mess with him was Luke. I mean, well, as far as the movies go, but to see why like he is what he is, it's like that's what I needed to see right there. Like I needed that. I needed that.
So back to Street Fighter Five. You put him in. Does he have anything? He was in like a Soul Calibur game once, right? I
He
think he
was in
was.
Soul Calibur 3 or
I didn't
4,
play it.
and he was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
He was kind of shitty. It was like really done whatever. And like Yoda was in the game, I don't know. And then he was in obviously the Star Wars fighting game, which is also shitty.
Yeah.
But let's just hope that Disney puts Star Wars characters in Marvel Infinite.
Marvel, come on, that's a stretch. You should be happy you're getting
Let's hope
Marvel,
they do
much
that.
less. You're
Let's
not getting no
let's hope
Vader.
they do that.
Um, yeah, yeah, Vader would be cool.